what would lead to the gap in requirement? That means that the gaps could potentially talk about the fact that you missed something totally, or you delivered something which is lower quality or lower value. So that means that you didn't live up to the standards. You didn't deliver the requirement to the specification that you had agreed upon, and they would then lead to what is a kind of a breach of trust, right? End of the day, that's not what we've agreed upon to with the client or with the customers, and that's where we end up in a problem space, in a problem. So the gaps could be in terms of trouble in understanding customer needs. We did not understand the customer needs properly, and that's where we actually failed to capture the understanding. We have not really understood the real needs of the people, or the real problems and the pain areas that they're having at the moment. If that is not understood, then we're not addressing the right problem. We're not serving the right people, isn't it? So in fact, this is so important that when there is a study called Standish Group research, which actually did a research work conducting a huge study across all the organizations developing IT projects, essentially IT and software development projects. Back this is about a good 15, 20 years ago. And they launched this huge study, and they got to understand that a lot of IT projects are actually ending up as failures and flops. And the reason, when they did a lot of the studies, why is it happening? Why not? All the study, end of the day, the outcome is that the problems with respect to the failures are, there are so many problems and so many root causes, but then the one main cause is down to requirements. About 76% of the projects fail because of requirements not communicated properly, requirements not captured properly, requirements not updated properly, requirements not specified in the right way. So it's all down to how you manage the requirements. And this is very, very significant. That tells you the importance of actually capturing, specifying, communicating, and maintaining the requirements the correct way. So I mean, it's needless to say, requirements need to be recorded in an organized manner. They need to be verified. They need to actually validate some requirements. When they say validation, then we're not sure. So that's what I keep telling people, that assumptions is very, very important, that you actually validate your assumption. There's nothing wrong in assuming something that you do not know. But when you assume something, make it really clear that this is an assumption. This is the assumption that I have based my understanding on, or based this requirement on. You need to specify and then validate it as soon as possible, because otherwise, if you just do not specify your assumption and say that, people might mistake that as a fact, and that could ultimately lead to a big, big problem, big trouble. So I would say that we all need to, as BAs, we should be very careful about what we're trying to assume. And then if we are saying that this is an assumption, then we need to specify that clearly, that this is an assumption. And the most immediate moment that we can actually come to, we need to validate that assumption with the right stakeholders, right team members, so that that assumption is no more assumptions. Actually, either, okay, this is either true or false, and based on that, we say, no, based on my discussion, this is what is the understanding level. So very, very important to validate and and verify your assumptions. Change is not controlled by proper mechanism. That would again lead to gaps if it is not controlled. If the changes come from so many different directions, and they're not managed, you're not capturing the user feedback. For instance, people are telling you, customers are reporting you all the problems, all the areas that needs to be changed, all the things that need to be changed, all the things. That's what we call as the customer voice, right? The customer voice is actually kind of very, very powerful, but there's no way to capture it and store it and then analyze it and then being able to take an action on that. Then all that fantastic gold mine of customer feedback is lost. So you're just ignoring all that gold mine. You're sitting on the gold mine, but you're not really realizing it's like the goose and the golden eggs, right? You have literally killed the goose with not listening to the customer feedback, not being able to taking action on that. So which is total waste of all the effort that you've done. and lack of solid foundations and software that users want to build. So again, the foundation would only come when you have clear understanding of what the vision is, what is the mission, what is the mission for this particular business and for the particular product program or product or project. What is the fundamental need for us? What is the motivation? Who are the users? Why do they need this application or product in the first place? What is their need? How are we addressing their needs, their problems, what are the opportunities that we have got? What are the threats that we're facing? How can we overcome those threats? Who are the competitors for this? What are they doing? How can we try and fight off the competition? How can we be ahead of the competition? How can we quicken this time to market? How can we make sure that we have got there quickly than our hundreds and thousands of competitors, especially in this era of internet and web. It's so difficult to be ahead of the competition.